Hi everyone, welcome to Free Movement Dance Solutions. I'm so glad that you're here today. We're gonna discuss a very important topic, which is how do you get 10 good habits to become a really good dancer? Now this is something that we all want to become a much better dancer, so let's just go ahead and talk about that. So the first tip that I'm gonna give you is to be prepared for class. What I mean by that is you kind of need to look good and feel good. Imagine if you're going to class like being so unprepared, you're not going to be really ready for class, right? So you want to make sure that your hair is all done up, you don't want to be all messy haired, and you want to make sure that you are physically and mentally ready for class so that you feel good and you're going to do really well in class. Alright, the second tip that I'm going to have for you is to ask questions. Now, I'm going to talk to you as a dancer to a dancer, and one of the things I always do is to ask questions, alright? So whatever it is that you don't understand, whether it's the counting, does it start on 5, does it start on 6, 7 or 8, or if you're just not sure what the general feeling of the dance is, ask! Just ask the instructor. Now, from my instructor's perspective, when somebody asks questions, I'm more than happy to actually answer the questions. So don't be afraid to ask. So second tip is to definitely ask questions. The third thing we're going to talk about is dance class etiquette. What I mean by that is don't come into class and be like all hurried up and like not ready for class, but just reach class early, start stretching, start warming up, keep your body warm, make sure you're there. Don't just sit there and start gossiping and stuff like that. We ain't got time for that. Go ahead, start stretching, start warming up, motivate your friends around you to actually start warming up as well. So that's a definite good habit. And always make sure that by the end of the class, you are cooling down as well. So this helps you to prevent injuries, which is really important to become a really good dancer, because you don't want to be totally injured and you can't dance and you have to stay away from dance, right? So make sure to cool down after class. Now, one side note, if you really need to yawn in class, try not to yawn really obviously in front of the instructor, but try to have a little quiet yawn so that it's not so distracting for the instructor, or it might feel a little bit disrespectful to some instructors as well, so try to do that quietly. The fourth habit that I think every dancer should have is to practice. Now, what I mean by practice is not just to practice 5 minutes before your dance class starts, but at the end of the class, take 5-10 minutes at home, 15 minutes at home to just practice right in front of the mirror, or if just in front of any reflection, just to practice your moves, whether it's the counting you're thinking about, or whether it is to really go all out to different body parts to think about how to execute the different movements. Practice, practice, practice right after class, perhaps a day before the next rehearsal, so that you know that you're prepared for the next class. So the fifth habit I'm going to have for you is to develop spatial awareness. Now, what I mean by that is if you're in a group class and if there are people around you, you don't want to stand so close next to somebody, or you don't want to make sure that, you want to always make sure that the space you have around the people in front of you, at the side of you, at the back of you is going to be quite equal. Alright, what I mean by that is if the instructor tells you, take window everyone, what she means by window is to make sure that you're equally in between two people. Yeah, so always make sure that you know your space around you so that you don't keep hitting everyone and get everyone really annoyed at the same time in the same class as you. The sixth habit is so important, you guys, which is you need to rest well. Now, why I say that is because, so many a time I see dancers come into class, myself sometimes, whether it's straight out of school, from another dance class, from gym class, from tuition, whatever it is, but you're so tired. And I can see your listless soul in class, and sometimes I even go through that when I was studying in school. And, if you're really tired, you're not going to be really present and focused in class. Now that's something that we all go through as dancers, so please, I beg of you, rest well, because rest is so crucial for you. So always remember that, okay? Rest well before class, especially if you're gonna have a performance. Make sure that you sleep well, sleep enough. The seventh habit I have for you today would be to not hide behind everybody in class. Once you're in class, go get the front spot. Why? Very simply, if you're hiding behind, you can't see what's going on in the front of class, can you? So always make sure you find the right spot, fight for yourself, fight for that spot, go in front. I'm not saying, push people away to, get that spot. Don't have to do that, but find a good spot, be early to class, stand right in front so that you're near the instructor, you can listen properly and you can see all the movements really clearly as well. The 8th habit I have for you today would be to avoid correcting others and instead focus on yourself. Now the reason why I say that is because sometimes in class, you use your peripheral vision and you realize that, oh my, this person's doing it wrongly, that person's doing it wrongly, and I can see all of that going on, and you feel like you need to go and correct them. Now stop. Focus on yourself because they might be finding time correcting themselves as well, making things better. So don't go think about other people, but think about yourself first. Focus on yourself, get your steps correct, get your counts correct, and that will ensure that you become a much better dancer at the end of it. The 9th habit I have for you today would be to keep dancing even if you screw up. Now, why I say that is because we all have our guilty conscience where we think, oh my gosh, I missed this count, I missed this step, I didn't do this well enough, and I want to give up and I just want to redo the whole thing again. Right? Wrong. You need to remember to just finish it all the way. Don't just stop halfway. Always make sure to continue on, finish it well, and then when you redo it again, redo it properly. What I mean by this is, if you're going across the floor, doing your different turns or techniques or combinations, always make sure that you finish the full combination even if you forgot your steps. Now, if you're doing a choreography and halfway you tripped and fell in the choreography, you don't just give up from there and just walk off stage, would you? Now, you want to make sure that you finish the entire choreography before you head off. This is the same when you're rehearsing, this is the same when you're in stage, because why? Every action that you do helps you to create a habit, and we want to create good habits as dancers. So make sure that you finish all the way and don't give up halfway. The 10th and last habit I have for you would be to ask the instructor for a water break instead of walking off by yourself out of class to grab your water bottle. Why I say this is because sometimes it's quite disruptive for the instructor if different people go out at different times to go and grab their water. So always ask the instructor for a water break before you head off for it, so that you show respect to your instructor and your instructor would respect your time in studio as well. So what do you think of the 10 habits that we shared today? Did you like it? Did you think that it relates to you or your dance friends as well? Drop down a comment below if you have anything else or any other habits that you think would be helpful to other dancers, and share it with us below because you might just help another person. And don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bells so that you know when we have a new video coming up next week. One more thing, comment down below if you have any questions or any topics that you'd like for us to talk about. And if you have something that is a burning desire inside of you to ask away, because over here at Free Movement Dance Solutions, we are here to support your dance journey from day one up till eternity. See you again next week. Take care, stay safe, and keep dancing.